Today we're gonna cut down some trees for firewood. Dead trees. Let's hope they fall where they're supposed to. All right, a good part of homesteading, of being self-sufficient, whether you're off the grid or on the grid, part of being self-sufficient is firewood you can heat with for yourself. So you have a wood stove in your house and, ooh, itchy nose. You have your wood stove, and we have property with a lot of oak trees on it, so we have our own source of firewood. And luckily for us, I pretty much just have to cut down dead trees, like this tree right here. This tree right here is deader than dead, and it's just standing here. And the thing is if we don't cut them down, the ants and the termites eat around the bottom of the tree, and they just rot and fall over. And it's so humid down here in the south, once the tree's laying on the ground, it disappears in no time. So I just go out and I just drop these dead trees and cut them up for firewood. This is what happens to a tree that's left standing dead. The tree's laying across the ground, and once it dies, the ants and that have a field day with it, and then the wind, even though there's no leaves or branches on it, the tree just rots to the point from all the ants, it just falls over. I have two chainsaws. You may have seen this one in some of my videos before. It's a Poulan, and it's just a real basic entry-level model. It's a small engine. It's really actually underpowered for having a 18-inch bar on it. And I'll show you the chain. The chain on this saw has 21 teeth. On an 18-inch bar, 21 teeth. It's a beginner's basic. I got it for $99 at Tractor Supply Company, and it's great for somebody that's just looking for a backyard saw that doesn't really know what they're doing. This is my professional saw, and the bar here, it's a special bar. It's thinner, and it has a high-speed cutting chain, and this chain has 36 teeth, and it's the exact same 18-inch length bar, and the engine's much bigger. So you can see this is the quality chain with 36 teeth, and this is the beginner basic cutting chain with 21 teeth. Make sure you use safety equipment, leather gloves, eye protection, ear protection. I'm not wearing chaps. That's up to you. I am not a professional logger. I did live up north for a long time. I had friends that were loggers, and I mean, I've had training, but this is backyard homesteading work, so you do the precautions that you feel are necessary when you're cutting down wood yourself. So that first cut that you make, that wedge, there's different ways to do it, horizontal, whichever way, but basically you're cutting a notch that is perpendicular to the way that you want the tree to fall. Then you go on the back side and you make your horizontal cut just slightly, depending on the size of the tree, you make it slightly above where that wedge cut is. You come in from the other side, and what you want is a hinge of wood from one side of the tree to the other. Okay, so we've got our notch cut perfect. It's just the shape that we want, our nice triangular notch pointing perpendicular to the direction we want the tree to fall. Let's go around on the back side and make our horizontal cut. Centerpiece of wood that is still connected acts like a hinge so the tree can fall over. If you cut all the way into it, then the wind, there's actually a little bit of a breeze today. You might not know how the tree, it could twist on you, fall backwards, sideways. It could start to fall, and again, then it could spin as the tree, comes down through other trees and that. Super dangerous. So cut your wedge perpendicular to where you want the tree to go, and then come in from the back side a little bit above it, and make sure you leave a strip of wood that behaves like a hinge as the tree falls. Timber! Important piece of safety advice is you have your brake here, which stops the chain from spinning if you have a kickback. And when you're using the saw vertically, your hand is up here in the top, and so it will hit the brake and cause it to stop cutting. A natural tendency when you want to saw sideways is to put your hand up here on the top. And that's a big no-no, super dangerous. You don't want to do that, because if the saw kicks on you, there's nothing to hit the brake to stop the chain. So you want to keep your hand on the side like this when you're cutting sideways. So that's pretty much it. Tree's on the ground. I started cutting it up. I'll just cut it up into 18 to 20 inch lengths. Then I'll haul it up front in my wheelbarrow and split it up and stack it. It'll be dry and ready to go for the season. Living happy, living fun loving, and living carefree. Living life DIY on the homestead, being self-sufficient.